Welcome back. You're listening to WUSB, and you just finished listening to Fully Ignorant, a new album from local band The B List. We are now talking with the vocalist from the band. How about you introduce yourself? Tell us how the band formed, a quick little bio of when you started to now.
Well, hi there. My name's Nick. Thanks for having me on, Kyle.
No problem, man.
No, thank you. So just a quick story about us. We were a band kind of formed from all parts of Long Island. We came together I guess it was the winter of 2011, so a little more than 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My drummers at this point and I are the only remaining founding members.
Okay.
But yeah, we came together, just wanted to put together some new music. We've all come from different bands. I had just come out of Valet Parking.
Okay.
Our drummer, had just finished up with Memories in Play, and we just all wanted to make some new music. And up to now, we put out an album called A New Beginning.
Mm.
Did a two-song demo we put out in February of 2013, I believe. And now we finally released our first full-length album, Fully Ignorant, just a week ago.
So let's just begin. So like you said, you released stuff all the way back in 2011. You did a little bit in 2013 with the two demos. So I just want to know, how did you grow as a musician through all those years? Because that's a long time, from 2011 to 2016.
Yeah, 5 years definitely impacts your writing style, things that you valued, things that you don't. But I think what I like about our music is that I think the general tone has always remained an optimistic, upbeat kind of feeling to it. But we definitely have, grown up a little or matured a little in our subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
We never were really much of a band that wrote about girls, but we were very much so a band that wrote about direct experiences. And this new album, I think we used a little more metaphor and simile to describe situations as opposed to just saying, hey, I'm here and this is what's happening.
I saw that a lot through different tracks. Definitely. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, you had different stories in a whole bunch of different tracks. Definitely didn't maybe a little bit focus on the relationship here and there. I'm not really sure, but yeah. But isn't generic pop punk just say neck? I like Neck Deep, but Neck Deep or any other pop punk band out there is just every song's about a breakup.
I mean we try to break the mold a little bit.
So. This is just a curiosity question. How did you form the band name, The B List?
My favorite starting line song is The B List. It was their song. I love that band. Starting line is a huge influence on me through anything I've ever done. That was just really the thought process. And also, I love the idea of an unassuming name that, even if somehow our band did blow up and we became famous, we always just still call ourselves the B-list. We're never going to be, big-time A-list celebrities,
Okay. So, one last question before we start talking about the album in detail. On September 2nd, you guys had your release show up in Amityville, and you had local support from All Out, Gutter Life, Nice Shot Kid, Makeshift, and Giants at Large. And this show sold out, and the head count I heard was around 230. So I wanted to know, what was your experience? How did you feel the atmosphere, pretty much, of that night?
I'll tell you what. I'm a guy who doesn't get too nervous, and the whole day before too, even after our last practice, I was very nervous about it. Not because I didn't think people were coming, just because it was such an important show for our band.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our friends. We got all the local bands that we could, all the best local bands we could get on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And all of our friends were on it. We just I didn't want to feel like I let everyone down by putting together a show that wouldn't have any people.
Yeah.
But I mean, from the word go, from the time the doors open or were scheduled to open, line out the door. The first 50, 70 kids that were there for All Out, none of them left. It felt like everyone just came in, stayed, and watched every single band, and that's what our scene should look like. It was a perfect picture of what our scene could be and should be on Long Island, punk, just in general.
Yeah, definitely, I totally agree. So that was totally a surprise, just seeing those amount of people to you.
It was like me and John Stangle from Long Island and Louis Navas from Black. When we talked about a release show for us at first, we said, "Oh, what bands are going to play in the area? You know, maybe we could catch a big band and release on their show." And I just kind of came with the idea, like, "Hey, man, why don't we just get 5 awesome local bands on and just chill it, just promote the heck out of it and make an unbelievable night with all local." And they were 100% on board. The promotion from day one was great for it. And was I shocked? Yeah. Did I think we were going to sell out? Absolutely not. I was extremely encouraged by the strength our scene showed, by just how much support there still is for local music. And when we got the message on stage, it was on stage. Someone told us, "Hey, Dick, sold out. No one else showed up." I'm like, "Oh my God, it happened. It worked." Oh, it was very cool.
Definitely an incredible night. So let's just continue on. We're going to start talking about the Fully Ignorant album now. So why did you name the album Fully Ignorant to begin with?
The whole concept of the album was to have essentially there are 7 stages of grief when you mourn a loss, whether the loss of a girlfriend, the loss of a loved one, death. It doesn't matter. And that was the original concept for the album. For me, was to deliver an album with songs titled that way, just kind of taking you through the steps of that.
Okay.
And what wound up happening is whatever we were writing about at first wasn't kind of staying with it, but we noticed a lot of the songs were kind of following a different theme. And
definitely.
The theme was you don't know what you have until it's gone. We are so completely, fully ignorant that of the time we're spending and of the things that we could be thankful for, that by the time it's gone, we wish we had more time to appreciate it. And that was the concept of the album.
Okay. If for the listeners definitely listening, I'll speak about the lyrics soon. You'll see how it pretty much forms that idea. So let's begin. Let's begin with the writing process of the album. It probably took how long did it take for you guys to write this full 10-track album to begin with?
It took. From the beginning, the very beginning of the writing process of actually trying to write the album, because we had a couple songs written and ready to go before we even really started thinking about this as an album. I would say about 1.5 years, just because a couple of the songs weren't even done, and we had some member changes in between, and kind of financial issues that just kind of prolonged it. So the writing process took about 1.5 years.
Okay. So what was the actual process of you and the rest of the band writing the lyrics, whether it's writing an instrumental part? How did you go about this?
In our band, it's kind of simple. We like to... the focus of vocal parts or lyrics in general, it's generally my area. I'll write all the words for the song. But how we start songs is very organic. We never really believed in, okay, let's force a song today. It's just, hey, I have this cool idea. And then everybody's like, okay, great, that sounds cool, let's build on it. So it's really just kind of winging it until something sounds good and moving on from there.
Okay. So with writing and everything, you guys recorded the album up at Voodoo Studios in Port Jefferson. What was it like working with the various mixers, engineers, and producers there?
It was an unbelievable experience. I can't say enough about how professional and courteous they were to us, our wants and needs. What I can say is Mike Watts, who is the operator there, he definitely doesn't pull punches, which is great. We love hearing that. He's a guy who, if your song sucks, he's going to tell you it sucks. So we appreciated that, and every time we ran into something that either he didn't like or wasn't fully on board with, he never hesitated to tell us, "Hey, man, I think we should go a different direction."
Okay.
Our main engineer, a guy named Tom Apple, was great. He was very professional, very funny guy. Liked to have a good time. They were all very cool. We worked with Tom Flynn, who actually also shot our music video. He did guitars for us also. I think I'm missing some. Oh, Frank Miriatona, and of course our producer, Frank Laudicina from Down the Drain Production.
And you also worked with I forgot her name, but she did a couple tracks with violin and cello, I believe.
Yes. That was so last minute. I goodness gracious, I can't even remember her name. I feel very, very bad about that. She was fantastic. If the name pops in my head, I'll make sure to shout it out. She was fantastic. We were able to send really crappy sheets of music that we just kind of scribbled in that day, and it back to or emailed it to her, and she just came back, "Okay, I got it," and just laid down awesome violin and cello. It was very cool.
Was that last minute influence from like Yellowcard or like those types of bands, or
we're definitely a band that's big into Yellowcard, but it was not one of those things where we felt like, this song, like, we want to have that kind of, we went in thinking, we want to have this in our song. It's just one of those things where we said, if this is something that can take the song a step further, why wouldn't we do it? And, it was definitely last minute, but it was worth it.
Okay. So let's start talking about some individual songs now. We'll begin with the song All the Same. So one of the lyrics goes, "But now my life feels scripted, like it's written for me. It's on my mind, happens all the time. But no, these idle hands are mine to carry and build a world where I'm all right. My life is mine." So the song focus is a lot on the realization that you control your destiny. But there is one line in the song that like kind of caught my attention, that kind of like, I don't know a word to describe it, but the line was, "Nobody's different in their own true way." And you always hear like everyone saying everywhere, it's like, "Oh, everyone's different," that type of thing. But that just counteracts that statement. So what was the idea behind it?
I think the juxtaposition of that statement, to me, it speaks to the idea that we're all trying to do the same exact things. We're all trying to make our lives better. We're all trying to, reach out and try to get the things we want. And if we can't get the things we want, then we're all trying to reach out and, get the things that we need. And in our case, it's about a band trying so hard to, tour more and get noticed and be able to make this our lives. For anybody else, that could mean, I'm just going through college and doing the same thing everybody else is doing. Yeah, that's what I want to do, but we're all on the same boat. We're all people. We're all trying to just make things work.
Okay. So let's move on to the next song, Running Away. I wanted to talk about the making of this music video. What was the process of actually producing it, and how did you choose all the different locations in the video? Like, I believe Looney Tunes was in it.
Yes, it was.
A barbershop. I don't know which one, but
that's
whatever.
In the barbershop where our bassist Matty works.
So why did you choose all these specific places to be put in this music video?
I think the general idea was, this is our first video, and we started like storyboarding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people do with music videos. They start storyboarding, like, this song's about a girl, so let's get a girl, an actor to do this.
Okay.
And we could have gone that route and made it, either me or a character in the video, running away from problems or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
What we wanted to do more was show where we're from.
Okay.
Show the things that we see every day, and show
newer fans who you actually are.
Yeah, show them what we like to do. What we literally said at the end of it was, how about we just make a video of us hanging out, and just we'll find a place to play and like take a really cool shot of us playing, but why don't we just hang out? Like, let's go to places that represent Long Island, all American. What's more Long Island than that?
Yeah, definitely. So, in the song, you have a quote from A Knight's Tale, and it goes, "Those who strive to touch a star often stumble, but a simple straw. You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting." So, why did you pick this specific quote, and what's your take on it?
The quote to me is it's something that it's one of my favorite movies, obviously. And I think the quote to me just speaks to the idea of running away. The song is about, it's about running away from either problems or running away from things that either society or people in your life tell you that you need to be a part of, you need to do. And I guess it's one of our more depressing tracks, I guess, in a way, because it's about the idea of kind of maybe we don't have the choices or the power to choose what we want to do in our lives. Maybe we're stuck doing what we're supposed to be doing. And, that poem from that movie,
okay,
it basically kind of just speaks the whole thing to me. That, when you take a leap, when you try to change your own stars, when you try to do something above where you were slotted in life,
okay,
oftentimes you're gonna fail. And I guess the idea of it was the rest of the CD to rectify that by saying, keep trying because you'll get there. But the idea of it is, this world has you weighed and measured and cut out. They know what you're about. Everybody wants something. Some people but if you want it, just go out and take it.
So, again, let's keep moving on, because I know you're probably busy right now.
I'm good, man.
So, the next song I wanted to talk about was 6040, which was kind of a strange name, like, track name, on, the track listing. This is different from all the rest. So I wanted to know, what's the meaning behind the song name, and I also wanted to know a little bit about the quote, "And everyone thinks so much easier when you're young," and it goes back, I guess, to the idea of being fully ignorant. Can you explain a little bit more on those specific lyrics, I guess? Probably a little repetitive, but...
No, it's fine. I actually am happy you brought this song up. 6040 is I think it's Adam's favorite, our guitarist, his favorite track on the album. The whole song is about, 6040 is the average for the rate of divorce.
Okay.
Marriage is, is your marriage going to succeed or is it going to fail? It's 60-40. That's actually an actual percentage, and or a ratio rather.
Okay.
We thought it would be a very cool thing to kind of talk about. It's really kind of bypassed. My parents were separated when I was at a pretty young age, and that's kind of the theme of the song. You hear me talking about my brother and my sister fights growing up. My parents, all their issues, and how it kind of made our house difficult to live in. The idea of the quote that you said, it was. I'm sorry.
Everyone thinks easier when very young.
So much. They always said that. My aunt, my uncle, anybody who was close to me at the time who knew what I was going through, they always said that, at least it's happening now. At least it's so much easier right now. I'm like, you know what? No, it's not. It's not easy anytime. It's not easy for anybody. And that was something I really wanted to stress.
Okay.
And especially if, if a young kid or, listens to that song and going through the same thing, if we could just, make him feel better about her feel better about her situation, just know that there's other people out there going through a similar issue.
And a little bit at the end of the song, because it does bring back that, like, I forget the specific lyrics, but it kind of, like, brings back of you being happy again, kind of, and, like, family coming back together.
Say that again? I'm sorry?
Later in the song, it brings back the fact that, like, family came back together, I'm pretty sure.
It does, yeah. I was very fortunate. I went through it. It was pretty much writing on the wall for it, and yeah, everything did turn out right. Me and my brother hated each other till he went to college, and all of a sudden he's looking back saying, "I wasted so much time. I could have, been a better brother, spent more time with him, and we just spent it all fighting." And I look at it much the same way.
Okay.
So, my sister, she's close to home, but not too close. We don't see each other quite so often, but we're okay. My mom finally did move back in with my dad, and things turned out all right. So, even when things look at their worst, they can get better. I guess the point of all that.
So let's move on to another darker song, and the song is named "Anger." This shows your listeners a little bit of your heavier side of your music. Is that something you want to continue with? Well, not continue with. Well, experiment in the future with future releases.
We made sure in this album that we were going to break some ties with our old sound. That while we still wanted people to listen to our album and hear things like, that remind them of, oh, that sounds like Don't Stay Forever, or that sounds like Turning Bridges. We want that, but we want to keep growing our sound. Anger was a way to do that. Around the time that song was being written, we had had a new guitar player turned bassist, Maddie, the lead singer of Gutter Life, who's our bassist now. And the general process for that was just, we were in a van outside Skate and Surf Fest after we just played, or a bus rather, and it just kept breaking down on us. Bad breaks all around. We're just like, how about we just write a song about being angry, about hating the situation? And we wrote it literally in a day. One of those songs we wrote in a day, and we stayed the course with it.
So, like you said, it's kind of like the harshness of tour life, pretty much, is the gif of the story. What was the worst experience that you had on tour?
Oh my God! We at the skating church, we wound up picking up the bus that we thought a little bit, and going on and this is, I don't advise any band who's going on their first tour to ever do this. We decided we're going to do a full East Coast tour.
Okay.
We should have started small, but we did do it. We wound up accomplishing it. The first night, we have a show. We drove out of Long Island, got into Philadelphia. We played it, kind of a dive bar in Philly, but it was really super cool anyway. But then tons of people packed in the place. We play the show. We have a great show. We're feeling good about ourselves. Get in the bus. Start driving down I-95 in Philly. Which, if you don't know, there is absolutely no place to stop on the side of the road. And our alternator belt, or timing belt, just snaps, just stands out. That's it. The brakes give out. Everything in the car stops working. Everything in the bus no longer works. And we're just drifting along. Crowded. I mean, it wasn't really all that crowded, but there's some traffic for this. Like, it was like 1 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And we're just drifting along. This is the first night of tour.
Wow.
And we're just trying to, we're all going through our heads thinking like, geez, man, it's just it. Like, we planned all these months to make this happen, and now this happens. And what are we going to go home now? We wound up spending the night, half the night, parked on the side of a freeway that just had cars roaring by. And by the way, it was torrential downpours. Thunderstorms. It was awful. Everything about it was awful. Our guitarist, Zach, was so mad about the situation. He took his phone and threw it at the overpass. And he went the rest of the tour without a phone. But that was absolutely the worst, because we really thought we were going home that night. There's no way. But we wound up getting it to work well enough to get it out of the freeway and onto a road. And I didn't sleep that whole night. It's 10 in the morning. We get it to a Ford shop, and they tell us it's failed. We have to fix it. $1,700 later, we're fine. We're on the road again. Boy, they.
So let's talk about the next track right after that, because it pretty much counters pretty much all those bad things and say, like you said before, it's all about the good things, because good things over do the bad things because of experience and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like one of the quotes, it goes, "Our whole lives left to be angry at the inconsistent misfortune of these nights is the story of our lives. We left our homes behind us, a dream fulfilled blood, sweat, and sacrifice." Did this lesson take you a while to realize? Was it quick, or like you knew it right away, or like I said, it took a while?
I've had experience touring in other bands. When I was in a band called Valley Parking, we toured a whole bunch.
Okay.
And I've always had this experience, even just coming back from a short tour. You come back and you feel like you've missed so much. We leave our homes behind us. You know, we're chasing this dream, and we're going at it. And we come back, and all of a sudden, when you come home, things are back to the way back to the way they were. You got to go back to work. Got to pay your bills. Got to do this. Got to do that. And you feel kind of trapped, like you're just this soaring eagle in a way, or whatever. And all of a sudden, you're in a cage again, and you got four walls surrounding you. Some jerk in your face telling you that what your work's not good enough or whatever. And you know what? It's tough to deal with that. So I guess the theme of the song of that is, you know, do that. I know, like it stinks to come back and feel like, you know, you're just doing the ordinary path again. But just go every time you have a chance to try to chase something as hard as you can. If it's something you want, go after it. Okay. Because we come out of it feeling like, you know what? Yeah, we have our entire lives to worry about how bad we had it or how things never broke right for us. How about we just enjoy right now?
So, with the good things, what was your favorite moment on tour, other than, you know, like the September 2nd with the release show?
That's a very good question. A favorite moment on tour?
One of you.
I don't know if I could put. There were so many fun moments. Maddie opening the door to give a random homeless man a juice box. Just, you know, like things like that he would do, or like, you know, meeting what we were pretty sure was, you know, an alcoholic kind of traveling car fixer guy. By the name of Slim. Didn't tell us his name, just told us his name was Slim, who wound up fixing our car for beer. The people that you meet is probably one of my favorite parts. I think the show we had in Myrtle Beach was unreal. We played. We had a buddy, our buddy Sailor Jerry. I wonder if he's listening to this. I hope so. He booked us a show down there, and this show was out of control. Just a ton of people. I wound up blowing my voice out that night.
Wow.
To the point of complete laryngitis. For the next 4 days, I couldn't sing. So we had to work around that. Zach and Brian had to sing for the most part. But yeah, I mean, I think just having a show so far out of our comfort zone that was so unbelievably packed and just just out of control. With people like doing stage dives off a couch that was down there, and for some reason it was ridiculous.
So one last song I want to talk about is Beyond Belief, and by the end of the song it goes the devil's in the details, and with the background vocals it goes, when idle hands begin to truly form. Now before I had another quote from one of the first songs, and I had the idea of idle hands. Was this idle hands in this song negative compared to the ones in song like 2, let me see, back in All the Same?
Idle hands do the devil's work. The general idea that in All the Same, it's kind of saying like, my life is mine. I won't, you know, my idle hands are mine to carry. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I will make my destiny. This song kind of just saying, I mean, I don't want to be too controversial. I mean, we're not that kind of band. It is a song about belief in your faith, in your, you know, your creeds or whatever you have affiliation with, you know, that you hold yourself to.
Okay.
And in general, my lack of, and it's not a statement saying to people who do believe in whether it's God or whatever they believe in that they shouldn't. If anything, the song is saying that I wish I could. I envy those with faith because it feels like I can't imagine that it wouldn't feel like a better life to believe that some things are just out of your control.
Oh, okay.
But that part, the devil's in the details, idle hands. Make sure whatever you're doing with your life, you're doing something. Because it's always the people who aren't doing enough, who aren't engaging themselves enough in our society, in our world, that turn out to be potentially dangerous. You know, make sure that you have something to do with your life, something that you care about, something that you gravitate to make sure that you're keeping yourself, you know, out of your own head and experiencing life.
Mm-hmm. So that's about it for all the song questions. So what are some future plans for the band in the next year or so?
Well, we're kind of figuring some things out now. Our record's now available on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. So we're pretty happy about that. We're setting up an online merch store. We've been getting a lot of hits from out of state and out of country about wanting shirts and CD and stuff like that.
Any unique places you saw so far from overseas?
We've been getting a lot of hits from people in Germany. It's really cool. These guys wrote a tiny little album review. I think it's CE Punk or .punk or something like that. And they gave us a really cool write-up, and we actually had to translate it because it was in German.
Oh, okay.
It was very cool. It was just cool to see how far, you know, they would say it. You know, music is a universal language, and it's true, man. It doesn't matter what language you're singing in or performing in. You reach people with song, and it's really cool to see how far it's traveled. But that's definitely a big plan to get that up and running. We are in the process right now of acquiring a new tour vehicle, and we're hoping to have some out-of-state and little weekend tours here and there in the coming months. We definitely don't want to stay stagnant. We've done a lot of that, so we're about done with that.
Okay, so that's about it, Nick. I just want to thank you for coming on air, speaking about the album, the production, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Before we sign off, I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you that I figured it out. The violinist on our album, her name was Alicia Scrabble.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to get that out there. I would have felt bad if I forgot about that.
So, in the future, hopefully, we can set up some acoustic stuff, or I'm trying to set up a concert series up on campus. I don't know if that's might go through. Hopefully, every month have 6 bands, so you guys can come and play if you want, or if you want to do some acoustic stuff here on Stony Brook, definitely hit me up. And that's about.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. Absolutely. We would be absolutely honored to do that. It would be a pleasure. I think we played Stony Brook 1, and that was about 3 years ago, so we'd love to have that opportunity again.
Okay, so to the listeners now, we're going to be moving on to some, probably some metalcore right now, starting with Data Remember's newest album with their song Bad Vibrations. And we're going to, after that, we got Mutter by the band Vanna and Dying Breed by Before You Fall, the JT Tullis. So stay tuned and listen to some more music. Make sure to check out the B-List on Facebook, Bandcamp. If you liked what you heard, make sure to look through the album again if you want to purchase it and support these guys. Nick, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us once again, And
thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
Take it easy.